That's the way that I came in. When I came into her, I'm like, this is what I think I need to do. And she was like, oh, you're ahead of the ball. We're ready to go. Let's start this. And then she gave me lots of recommendations for the, like, butter, goat butter. Who eats goat butter? Anyway.
That's cool. So the goat butter still wouldn't be technically vegan,
right?
But I'm cool with it. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not like, oh, you've got to be vegan,
right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't eat that much butter anymore. To give up bread, I mean, that's what I put my butter on. But you know, when I'm sautéing something, I just throw a little bit of that in there.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think people should make like a religion out of it because goat butter's got some benefits to it. You know what I mean? And you probably don't feel bad when you're on it.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's kind of like quite recognizable to the human body. So,
just real quick, did you want me to ask that question to?
Oh yeah, did I mention what it was? Suicide. Like, did she think about suicide? Okay. Yeah, and then you might ask her, like, I mean, what did you did you get to the point where you kind of planned it out or whatever, and she could. Yeah.
How far?
Yeah, but then otherwise, not a huge deal. You don't need to spend long on it. Just considering her dad and her granddad did, you know. Yeah. Cool. So, Valarie, tell me about your situation. I'm really interested. I'd like to know, what did you get diagnosed with?
I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and then anxiety and depression started probably mainly 14 years ago. Been seeing a medical doctor, prescribed medication for that. I wasn't getting any better. Medical doctor just said, take more meds, really feeling bad. Inside of body, just really crummy feeling, didn't want to get up, didn't have any drive or whatever. Just kind of did a little research and found Dr. V, holistic medications, everything is homeopathy. So I was like, got to give this a try. So I started just doing a little research and just read a little bit about animal proteins and how it causes inflammation in the body, and thought that's what's triggering my fibromyalgia, the inflammation that's in my body. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go see her. We made an appointment, sat down, talked. We talked about my diet. We talked about the moods I was in. We talked about depression. We talked about the stress. We talked about all levels of everything. And then she was like, okay, let's do this protocol. Let's start you out, cut all the animal proteins out. Let's just cut you out of animal fats, animal everything. No eggs, no butter, no meats, basically. Let's start just a vegetarian, just mainly go with veggies and have beans and rice, proteins that you can pull, good proteins, avocados and stuff like that. And then she was like, I need to put you through a series of, some blood work and some testing. Let's look at your levels of everything. So we pulled those levels, and she started me on them immediately. And within probably, I would say 3 or 4 days, I could tell a big difference just in the way that my chemicals were reacting in my body, how my body was, the inflammation. I mean, my body started awakening, I guess you could say, on the inside. I could feel like I could actually feel my body. I don't know how to describe it, except I could feel myself. I could feel myself going to sleep at night and sleeping better. That was a problem that I had, that I would wake up on and off all night long, on and off. And once we started this kind of routine of me taking my supplements, cutting out the animal fats, the dairy out of my diet, gluten-free was one of my main things too. So I cut all breads out. We started with that, and then came back to see her in 2 weeks. She asked me how I felt. We went down my agenda of, brain fog, much better. I started out at a 10, I went down gradually. I started this in February. Now we're in September. I'm off of all of my medications, pharmaceutical medications. I'm on all supplements, and just food, how the body reacts to the food. Listen to your body.
Amazing. So that was 6 months?
Yes, 6 months.
So you were able to get off how many medications?
I was on 3 medications, one for fibromyalgia, one for depression, and then I was on another one, just like my regular antihistamines and stuff like that. I was on nose spray. That's why I made that comment a while ago about when you were like eye drops. I mean, for my allergies, I was on all of that. I'm completely off of everything. I haven't had any pain meds, medical, pharmaceutical meds since February. I'm completely off of it.
So you're not on drugs anymore for your fibromyalgia as well?
No.
How's your symptoms with fibromyalgia?
They are a lot better. I have very few days that I'm just, like tired, but I do listen to my body, and if it says that I need rest, then I just go to bed. And like my nerve pain and my nerve issues, I've been using some essential oils for that. Just taking essential oils for that, and then CBD oil. I take CBD oil at night in the place of my gabapentin that I was taking. I take that to make my body rest. If I need it, if I feel like I need it, I take it then.
And does that have many side effects for you?
No.
Yeah? And then what have you seen as the benefit from taking CBD oil?
It makes my body rest, and it just kind of settles everything down. My nerve endings from my fibromyalgia, it just kind of settles everything down. Not to the point of just like a total relaxation, but it just kind of calms everything down inside of my nerves and stuff.
So you saw it as significant enough for you to stay with it. It was helpful for you.
Oh yes, Dr. V had me start on like 4 drops in the morning and 4 drops at night, and I'm down to just a drop at night, a dropper full at night. That's all I take.
Tell me, so you're taking antidepressants for your depression?
Right, I was.
And what were there side effects?
Oh, I felt like it was making me worse and better. I mean, it was just kind of mellowing me out, but I had no care for anything that was going on. I mean, like, you and I could have a conversation, and I'm a very emotional person. I care for people a lot. It just made me have no feelings at all. The medication that I was taking was more like just taking care of how do I describe it? Let's see. It just took away everything. It just made me do my walk of life and, go to bed, get up. It just kind of made me go through my routine, but I didn't get to enjoy life is what I'm saying. I didn't get to interact with people because it just took all of that away. It just made me blah. That's just how I felt. And when I came to her, I was like, I'm in this place where I just feel like I can't do anything else. Medication is not going to do anything. I don't want to put any more chemicals in my body. That's not what the answer is. I need to treat what's causing this instead of treating on top of it. Let's treat the cause of it, make it a lot better, healthier for my body. Let's see what my body's wanting instead of just putting pharmaceuticals in my body.
Great. I love that. And now, if you could give me a situation of how that would play out. You mentioned it sounds like a lack of empathy that you were experiencing with the drugs, or even a lack of sympathy, because sympathy and empathy are different. Sympathy is to feel somebody else and just to say sad for somebody for what they're sad for. Empathy is to relate that pain to your own pain and to be able to make that connection. So both are powerful in different ways. It sounds like you were kind of disconnected from that part of the human experience, among other things. How would that play out? Like, tell me, conversation with somebody, whether it was a relative or a family member, a friend. How did it hurt relationships?
Well, because there was no conversation. I mean, they just felt like they were just talking to me. Before, or I can say now, when somebody says something to the effect of, I had a really hard night last night. I just felt like that I don't have any energy today. My life is just not going where I want it to go. Then now I would say, have you thought about just what you're eating or what you're putting into your body? Are you listening to that? I don't feel like I had that before. It was just like, oh, you're not feeling I didn't have any words to say to anybody because I just felt like I was just completely shut off from. But now it's a totally different story. Now it's about what you're putting in your body, what you're doing to your body, how are you feeding your body, are you listening to your body? It's a big difference within the last 6 months.
And then even just in response to pain, for example, like if I was going through something, like for example, I was at a funeral the day before yesterday for a friend, and that died of neuroendocrine pancreatic cancer, and it was very and I was with the children, his 4 young children,
right,
and just witnessing it all and filming, because I'm a friend, I wanted to help with giving them something, but like hearing somebody have loss or tragedy,
right,
where there's no opportunity for advice in this setting, how would you what comes up for you when you hear something like that? Sadness.
I want to do what I can for the person. What can I do to help you? Can I be here for you, not today, but down the road? How can I help you? Let's just start with that, especially just kind of, give them a shoulder, talk with them, let them know that, I'm thinking of you, I'm sorry about the situation. Can I have your address? So we send you a thinking of you card. Let's just letting them know that although we're not an immediate connection, I would like you to know that someone is out there for you to help you with the pain that you're feeling right now.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful. So let's continue on your journey. So that's a huge contrast, right? Feeling has come back, right. The ability to not only be present, but even to regain a sense of power and contribution. I have value. I can help this person. I can share my love with them. I can be a shoulder for them. I can do this, right? That's a beautiful empowerment piece that you've experienced, Valarie. So let's kind of go through what triggered your depression. What do you think it was? What was the cause?
I think I've talked to Dr. V about just my pregnancy with my first child. I went through some depression after, and we've talked about, people call it postpartum, but it's actually just the chemical in your body that's unbalanced, and trying to find out what your balance is. If you listen to your body and know that your body is trying to tell you, then there's things that can help you. Food, everybody can't be on the same thing that I do, but there is help out there for the food that you eat, the things that you put into your body. So when I was pregnant, I had a really rough pregnancy with her. I had a really tough recovery with her. I was depressed, not really knowing why I was depressed. I didn't want to be alone. I'd been around children all my life, didn't want to be alone with her. Just things of not feeling, I guess, that I was good enough to have a baby as healthy as she was. We went into my husband working, just a little bit at a time, and, finances and stuff like that. It was just the everyday things. But I think mostly it was just me not feeling like I was worthy of this baby that I just had, and what I could do to help that. It was probably I went through it for probably about 6 to 8 months, and then that's when I really started with my medications and stuff. I was on and off of them. My doctor said, well, here, just take this will make you feel better. Well, of course it made me feel better for a while, but then I slipped into that, like I explained earlier, not having any compassion, as you said, or love for anybody. And I think I went through that long journey, and then I just decided that, we moved from a state, from Tennessee to Texas, and that was a different situation, a different area. So there was new loves that I could find. So I went through it and kind of found some new things. But then about 14 years ago, when I started with all the fibromyalgia, it just all started triggering back. And go to the doctor. What do? You go to the doctor. They'll help you. Put me back on medicine again. So I think that the biggest thing is that putting the medicine in my system was treating the cause, well, not necessarily the cause of the problem, it was just treating it. not my chemicals that needed to be treated in my body, not my body.
Just the surface
Yes,
problems.
yes,
plugging up
surface.
symptoms.
Right. Where we can treat our body, food, supplements can treat your body without the harsh chemicals of it being in your body, and your body reacts better to that because it's not a foreign substance put in your body, I guess.
There you go. What were the supplements you used?
What am I using now?
Yeah. Now or then, or when I say then, I mean when you first started, because some of the supplements you might still be on. Some of them maybe you just used for the first couple of weeks.
Right.
So
I take something for my thyroid, which I had been tested for a long time, and it never showed up. But when Dr. V did the test, it showed up that it was not at the level that it was supposed to be. That's why I was having the hot flashes and the moodiness and all that. That was coming from that. And then she's got me on energy. I'm bad with names with my supplements, but it's kind of like gets started in the morning to give me my energy for the day, and then I take a focus pill that helps because I'm constantly in front of the computer and doing appointments and stuff like that, so I can stay focused. She's got me on. I had them all wrote down. I'm sorry. I take for my dopamine and my serotonin. I take something for that. So that lets my body rest at night when it's time to go to sleep.
Yeah, and it's a natural supplement.
Yes, all these are natural supplements. I take about 15 a day. Well, I take 15 in the morning and about 10 at night when I go to bed.
Got it.
And then I take a probiotic every day because gut happy makes brain happy. That's just my motto for that. If your gut's happy, then your brain's going to be happy and your whole body's going to be happy. So I'll take a probiotic for that.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'm curious as well. Have you done anything anti-parasite related?
No.
Yeah.
And
Is that an interest?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The more that I am on this journey, the deeper I'm digging into things that may cause some of the things that are going on in my body. So.
Okay. Because if you're willing, here's what I'd love to do with you.
Yes.
Okay. I would love to see whether doing an anti-parasite protocol, say for at least a month, and see if you got buy-in, if you feel like this makes sense. It's not expensive, just so you know, like very, very cheap, but effective. And so I'm curious to see whether you would need less supplementation.
Okay.
Because if you do have parasites, they are taking nutrients and minerals that your body's naturally producing, and they actually have the ability to eat faster than you can digest.
Oh, okay.
So your healthy foods that naturally will either have the minerals that are helping your brain chemistry or convert into the minerals for brain chemistry are being affected by parasites if you have them, right?
Yes, right.
And so I'd be curious, but I think that supplements are amazing for enhancement. So that way, you'd be able to see whether you're as dependent, whether you can reduce dosages. I'd be curious if you're willing to do a case study with me on this. Great.
I would.
Great. And then we can just see whether whether it's making sense for you on the chelating, like with heavy metals. I don't know if you've ever done anything heavy metal related.
No, we have. She and I have spoke about it, but she's kind of introducing new things to see how my body reacts.
And these are very new technologies that she noticed with our conversation. And Dr. Elena is like totally on the same page as me. So you just happen to be the lucky one that's getting the first information. And thankfully we're not like Big Pharma where we're testing a new drug and we need guinea pigs. we got zero
human bodies.
We got zero side effects.
Right.
Side effects of your body, but not side effects of the supplement.
Right.
They're all natural, carbon based with the heavy metals, and then seed based with the anti-parasite. Mimosa pudica seed, for clove. Willow bark, neem. They're not unusual, but the combination with the Mimosa pudica seed really does help. And we've seen things that would be described as miracles, but they really were parasitic infections that people didn't know about. Just a quick couple of things to see. Do you get bloating after meals sometimes, often?
Yes, sometimes. Yeah.
Okay, and then even when you're eating right?
Yes, correct.
See,
yes.
there's a little sign for us there. Do you have trouble sleeping at night sometimes?
Yes, we've talked about that. We're trying to just change up some of my supplements. As a matter of fact, we're just doing some testing, some feather testing to see, because it got better, you know, and of course in this, she's explained we'll have some ups and downs, so we have to go back and see what we have to change. But yeah, my sleep has changed some, so we've talked about that.
Parasites do come out to feed at night. So they're waking up when your body's trying to go to sleep. And it creates a big conflict, and if you have things going on in your gut, it's hard for your mind to go, let's rest, right? So that's interesting. Do you notice any kind of like stomach movement or bloating or gurgling or anything like at all and at night?
Sometimes, yes. Yes.
So there's a couple of things. Itching on the skin?
Just because I live in Texas, I think, you know, the humidity. Yeah, right.
I don't think you should have itching on the skin just because it's humid.
Well, I have really dry skin, which may be a factor of it. Yeah.
So there's a few things that could be, right? And then, or any pain, moving pain, like where you're sore here one day, sore here another day, maybe?
Well, I attribute that to my fibromyalgia. I mean, because it may be my ankle one day, and then it may be I have some left hip problem, but I mean, it just kind of
moving pain can be parasitic, because the parasites move around the body, and then pain becomes a big deal in other places, and then just fog and all these types of things. So let's see. We can follow up with you?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
And see how you're going?
Yes.
Cool. We'll get that organized. Dr. Elena will help me, and we will follow up with you, and let's get where would you describe yourself right now, if you on a percentage scale, fully honestly, percentage wise, from today, how you sit on a pendulum on your depression scale?
I would say that it's probably where it was at a 10, it's probably down to a 4. Probably.
Got it.
I mean, you know, you're going to have to fight those battles, and it's all about what you do on a daily basis. That's just, but when you said stomach, that struck something to me, that I was on Nexium for a long time, and since I've done this protein, gluten-free, no sugar, all my reflux is gone.
Acid reflux? Yeah? Is that what you mean? Great.
Yes.
Well done.
Yes.
Well done.
And I let people know, you know, when people say that, I got to take my Nexium, I'm like, it's all in your diet. It's all in your diet.
That's wonderful. Okay, great. I love that. So then that's the depression side. Okay, so if you've gone from a 10 to a 4, would I be right in saying that you're 60% better?
Oh yeah.
60%? 70%?
I would probably say
4,
more.
50?
I would way over 50%. I would go more 65. Let's go 65.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool. So let's see if we can take you the other 35%. I really believe we could do it in a short period of time.
Okay. All right.
What would that mean to you to get that extra 35% better? What would that mean to you?
A lot. It would be enjoying life more, not worrying about knowing what I'm putting in and I'm going to get out. Makes my body feel better, so I can take on the world, I guess you could say. Be ready for the day every day when my feet hit the floor.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's get you to 100.
Okay.
All right,
I'm ready.
Great. And it's so cool. Like Dr. Elena, she's so thrilled to be in this series. Her work is amazing, and I was really impressed with her drugless approach. Not that, I mean, that's typical, except for there's a lot of holistic doctors that still work with medication, because mental illness is not one to be toyed with. Right.
Yes, I do understand that.
And so that's something that I'm really excited about. And then we're really approaching in a collaborative manner.
Right.
Getting to these objectives. So And for me, I'm an investigative journalist, so I'm coming not as a doctor, but somebody that continues to find things that are working at levels that just amaze me. And so then you guys are getting the front end of that.
Well, she never told me to stop taking any of my pharmaceutical meds. She told me when I thought I was ready that we would approach that. And I mean, we've talked about it, you know, we've made adjustments to my eating habits, supplements, and all that for me to be completely. And it's just, when I tell people that, I don't know that they know what that really means because they've never been in my situation, but that just means like a hallelujah. And then if we can get that on up to 100%, that would be a praise. Very good.
Great.
Yay. I did it. Yes.
That's great. And that was your husband there?
Yes.
Children?
I have a 24-year-old daughter and a 21-year-old son.
Awesome.
Yes.
And tell me, I want to see both sides of this. Tell me, how has your depression and fibromyalgia affected your husband, your relationship, and your children, your relationship with them?
I feel like that my fibromyalgia closed me off from some of the things that I could enjoy with them. I mean, I just didn't feel well at all. Some days I just stayed in the bed. And I feel like that has come way far since, I mean, you know, I'm not in the bed, depressed, hurting. They don't hear me complaining a lot. All three of them can see a difference in me within the last 6 months, just my energy and the way I interact with them. My food, I mean, you know, I just eat healthier.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your story. And then what, you know, having the turnaround, what was it meant for you with your relationship with your husband, with your children? A lot. Our relationship was suffering because of my sickness. I feel like that it's building back up and we're getting back to where we were before all this happened. We do more together. We're talking about taking a trip next year, just the two of us, which we wouldn't have planned because I would have never known if I would have been in the bed or not with my depression and my fibromyalgia. Amazing. So you couldn't plan for those things. And tell me what was it like to be in that situation? Did you ever feel like you did something to deserve this to happen to you? More or less of why me? Is that kind of what you're asking? Yeah, why me? Why am I in this situation? What do I need to do? What am I not doing to get out of this? I guess what I'm trying to say is to get out of this. And I think that it just took me that long period of time to realize that I have to put me first, take care of my body, and then I can help others. So if I feed my body the right things and do the right things to my body, then I'm available to help others. Wonderful. Wonderful. And that's that. We got it. What would be a message to someone that's struggling out there? You can look in the camera. What would you say to them? Somebody like yourself that was going through what you went through. What would you say to that person? Probably I would just say reach out, do your investigation on things that are going on. It's not always the chemicals that you put in your body, but mostly it's how you feed your body and how you treat your body to results on how you're going to feel for the next day. Good job. You rock. Thank you so much. Cool. Yes. Yes, definitely. I appreciate you coming in and really interacting with her. I mean, she's amazing. I tell everyone about her. Yeah, I know she's in Austin, but she's worth the drive just to hear what she can plug in for you and help you turn your life around. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. Well, I know how excited she was to do this. Yes, she was. I just had a interview with, or, you know, on the web, whatever you want to call it, on Tuesday, and she was like, and I need to ask you a question. I'm like, I got your email, and she was like, so what do you think? And I was like, I don't know. She's like, you can do it. I'll be there. I love it. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. I love it. It's so cool. Thank you for doing that. It meant a lot to her, and she's really proud of your story and your journey. Yes, I wish that there was someone, or I hope that there's someone out there like Dr. V for everybody that can relate on it.
My cousin was just diagnosed with Lyme's disease in Tennessee, and she's reached out to a holistic doctor, which gave me the incentive to reach out to Dr. V. And she's on an amazing journey also. So I told her, maybe Dr. V will know her doctor, and they can talk and see what they can do for her.
That's perfect, yeah. And the supplements that we get you on for anti-parasite and heavy metals is the exact same ones that your cousin needs to take for Lyme.
Okay.
And because if they spend the whole time trying to kill spirochetes, which is the bacteria, they will waste their money and time, and it won't work. Okay. But if they go after killing parasites and heavy metals, they will win the battle on Lyme. Okay. Then the body will be able to kill the spirochetes.
You say that. I think that she was on something because she had to take a supplement of some sort that for like a 2-week period.
Mm-hmm. It does take more like 3 months to get rid of parasites.
Well, maybe it was because she would feel, because she was actually in the bed for like a solid 2 weeks because her body was just reacting to that and trying to, I guess, kill off the bugs. Yeah. But it would be, if you have any information that you would like for me to pass on to her, I'd be glad to do that.
Great, and it's going to be simple because the exact same thing that we put you on is the exact same thing.
Well, then I'll mention that to her and tell her to mention
that'd be
it to
a clear
her.
path.
Yeah.
You rock.
Okay. Yay!